All right, what's up, everybody? It is June 9th, 2018, 9:55 p.m. And I'm tired as dog shit, man. Just tired. I did, however, get together a 28-minute segment for you guys to watch. I'm only going to run this once, I think, until I get back. Let me go ahead and load this up for you guys. We shouldn't have too many people jumping on the feed right now, which is why I'm going to play the clip in the first place. So, I don't want a shit ton of... We went live earlier, man. The number started jumping over 200. I wanted to end that. So we shouldn't have too many coming in right at this moment. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get this clip started. This is a 28-minute unedited clip. And when I say unedited, I mean some of it may be in clips because the cameras were having issues with heat and they would turn off and the video would have to stop, but it would pick right back up in most places. But when I mean it's not edited is I haven't taken the actual clips themselves and edited each clip. These are stacked together the way that they should be. So this should be one continuous walkthrough. Oh, these steps are just not... No. I don't know, those steps are a little suspect, man. So this is definitely like squatter
these
status.
Are fresh. This is all fresh. Fresh rolly. They're all over the place. Nice, well.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody posted up. They even got a little CB radio, man.
Here's the address right here for this place. Fall 21. This is old, date issued.
Got a bag full of kids.
We found an ID.
We got a bag full of it was like a whole bag full of kids.
Oh, look, broken pipes, dude. Drug paraphernalia. Look, dude.
Flip this around. Make sure this guy.
All kinds of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah.
This ID.
That's a fucking meth pipe.
This ID was issued 10 years ago.
Yeah, that one looks like a meth pipe. That's pot pipes.
Yeah, those are weed
pot pipes. I don't really want to touch it.
They got a garbage bag full of kids.
Baby in a microwave. Well, there's another room over there where you're gonna see all the
check
kids.
this
They
out.
have like 10 of them. It's weird. You see, like 13 kids.
Looks like a straight shooter, man. Bunch of weed pipes. I mean, that doesn't mean they're smoking weed in it.
There's a bomb there.
Yeah. Got the CB radio right there.
We got the few backpacks, stuff that they're trucking through.
You see the bag full of kids.
There's a room over there that's got a bunch of little kid stuff in here. I wonder if we went up there because we could not open that fucking door. I yanked on that little door open easy, so we could have someone around out here. Yeah, we can take you where the fresh shit is. They took a shit in the toilet.
Yeah, well, somebody's definitely squatting up here. We're keeping look at. I mean, there's something that's happening up here. This is
Legos. Well, no, this is somewhere someone's like, you got a nice new black light, so at nighttime you really won't see a whole lot.
Yeah. Clothes.
And we can take you in and show you. Now they're selling this house. Of course, they go through and they clean everything out. But you can tell where the house has been swept through and cleaned, and they set aside stuff that says estate. But then you can see where there's been fresh people in there, almost no dust in certain rooms, and where they're laying on beds.
Right.
This right here would be my concern. We got the address for this. We need to call and report this in. Anyone can come in out here, and you are talking about a lot of money right there. That's just sitting out here, and all
60 grand or better. Solar. That's a lot.
So this is going to be a point for a quarter.
Some zigzags.
Got it closer, and I can tell you more.
King size zigzags.
Yeah, no. He's got a full 60
That
grand.
book is pretty new.
It's just got dust on it. That's it.
Because these are perfect. You know, this was a property, I remember a rancher told me.
Well, look
he
at
said it
this.
was all fortified, it had steel doors going around it. They were trying to buy it, and then at the last minute, they couldn't buy it. So this is probably the one, he's describing it because of the steel doors.
What are behind these, do you know? By the description of the property?
Everything's unsecured. I can't. You got some mapping. It's really cool in here, so this is...
Yeah, this is definitely not a lived-in. This is not a lived-in house.
Yeah.
This is somewhere you stop and take a rest.
And if you
get out
look,
of the
no
sun.
one's touched the table, but you can see,
Yeah, I can see it.
come on this side, from this side light, you can see,
Yeah.
you can see where someone's had fresh arms right across there over top of the layer of dust. So someone was just recently sitting in this chair, cigarette right here that's actually matching the zigzags that are up there, which is what I noticed when it came through. So someone was just sitting out over there.
Okay, yeah, see now, that explains a lot. I mean, why you got steel doors coming in, I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. You obviously
And you
feel
got
safe
fresh furniture
to a certain
next to all
extent.
these fire-
Why do you got fucking steel doors on both of your major entrances and exits right there?
This doesn't look like it's ever been decorated. This doesn't look like it's ever
Fresh
been
trash,
decorated.
shoes, somebody toss that on. And maps. Got that.
Hey, instruction manual de instruction, maps, VOP, hold up.
There's a lot of maps in here that have travel corridors, which is fine. And here we got maps in here they throw away, so it's like they threw this out pretty quick. So let's set this here. So they tossed this in there. Someone tossed this on top of the trash. You see how the wood is, the tape here? This probably wasn't meant to be thrown away. We want to pull these out. See if there's any markings on the maps. There you got your plastic jugs. There's your water.
Yeah.
Canned goods, clothing, this definitely, yep.
It has been utilized. I stand corrected.
Now, what we want to do is, let's open this map, it's got notes on it, let's see.
That can have intel all over it.
Old Tucson maps. Hold on, shine the light on the table.
All right.
Look for dust, look for long seats where, see, you get dust in the
Water's been placed, recent fingerprints. Recent fingerprints.
right on this. What I'm looking for is if they put any markings on here, this is
Marked
just
off the route.
Yeah, there's no markings nothing on the route.
What about holes in the paper that could be utilized as markings? No.
All we got is just where they're ripped around there. They stuffed all this in there pretty quick, and then they stuffed.
They did, this was a run and go.
This is where the fresh water goes, so maybe whoever's back here is getting supplies dropped, and it's just enough not to accumulate enough trash.
Well,
Someone needed a big enough footprint to where,
Yeah, they're gonna get discovered later.
and they haven't gone and destroyed and sold, so this was the map room. None of these are marked. None of these maps are marked with trails, but there are maps all across Arizona. This screen door is open.
Hey, you got the blueprints to the house. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's funny that
Every single one of these maps is basically a map of these
I'm
buildings.
sitting in this chair.
These are all local
It's right here, so everyone's crossing up this way. And they left these open for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's definitely being used.
We need to go down there.
Right.
So you got rat droppings.
Santa Fe Trail.
This is the one.
Oh, shit, that's not
I've already checked it all. We'll go around where the courtyard, where the bedroom is, where there's sleeping. There's another spot, we can see, they got the gate open, chairs sitting there to watch. So everything's showing that the ranchers are right, that they're moving heavy stuff through this corridor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing the signs here, man. Nobody, I mean, this is not a lived-in home by somebody that's a permanent resident now. This is a.
And it says there's a lot, this is an abandoned property at risk too.
And that's a different section right here, huh?
Yeah.
Completely different building.
Section of this. And that.
So we have two sealed iron gates, and this one's cracked open just enough to be watching the most common entryway into the property. There's another one. I mean, look at this. You got another one right here. Got another one over here. There's rat feces everywhere. Purple.
This one's getting set up.
Yeah.
I didn't go over here.
Blue. Got some paint. I wonder if that paint's dried out or if it's fresh paint. I mean, we have some multicolored planks.
Now we know where the lookout's going. So if you come in here, right up here, this ladder's going up to this tower.
Yep.
And you get handprints going up it. Someone's been climbing up it recently. And they got.
Does that spin?
This back, huh?
Does that spin?
What?
The cross section of plywood up there?
No, that's secured. It don't do that.
Secured? I mean, maybe a backrest to lean up against.
No, yeah, well, you can literally come up here and look out the side of these.
I mean, if I was up there posted looking out and was going to use it as a defensive position, I would definitely want something to brace myself up with if I had to fire shots.
So you got dust and dirt on this side, bunch of dust and dirt on this side, but right here in the center, you can tell it's been moved clean, so someone's been, and they're pretty small.
This is recent concrete. This is recent concrete work.
Yeah.
This is not old.
And this is one of your lookout towers.
still see
Somewhere
the white line
somewhere
form.
back in these canyons is that camp. Is a big camp, and that's what we're trying to track our way back to right now.
Okay, so that's no joke. Let's see if we can find another one that goes up to the other two. Because there's two more. I mean, to me, that is a definite
Structure
structure.
that hasn't been used in a while. We'll show you the one that was just used by.
So this should be it. But that's definitely, that's a lookout and a defensive position. That's pretty much how I would set one up.
Shut down the spent brass.
And I don't think that these are really for,
Holy shit.
Got a lot of shooting out here, so it's all spent brass.
oh, you got the casings in here?
Here we go.
Oh my God, look at that. That is a 5-gallon paint bucket full of casings.
Sit right here.
Looks like we got 203,
A bunch of stuff to shoot.
a lot of 203, a couple 308, some 5.56. So this is definitely set up to be like a kid's room.
And this has got this stayed up, so here's
I mean,
state
right
land.
down to the stars on the ceilings.
And they've got this set in, this is set up where you've got state land, Agua Blanca, and there's some marking pointed there, and there's Arizona State, so it's separated between public, state, private land. So this entire area is supposed to be private land.
So I wonder what
The corridors, look at these trails. The corridor trails going into the canyons off of these private lands. These trails are coming down and they're crossing here. So you got cross section up here, and then you got two areas where they can split out from here. And they've got this one over here, and it says Mesquid. Not sure what that is.
Pascual? No?
Oh, it's upside down, maybe.
No.
For me, it is.
It's MESQUED. Mesqued. Zach Mesqued.
And this is Agua.
Photograph this.
So what our intel's telling us is that through here, there's
this
this abandoned
abandoned
property, there are trails going up into the canyons. Into these canyons somewhere are large camps where illegals are camping out.
Hey, this Agua Blanca. That right there.
Is there liquid in
the name of the ranch?
Is there any liquid in that cup up there?
Is that right now?
That's where we're at.
No, that's dry.
There's lighting, so if you come in here, they drop, so they're using these little LEDs.
So you got a cable line being run, some type
They
of
look over here, they
TV.
left their lighting here too.
I'd like to know where that comes.
This is oddball stuff, but when you see two lights sitting here and you can tell they've just been placed there.
Do they turn on? Is there juice in those? Oh,
Oh, god damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a fresh water bottle mixed in with all this stuff. Smell like Dr. Pepper.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to not touch it, but still get a shot. Oh, that's horrible.
A bucket full of casings.
See this stove here, right here, though? You can look down here. No one's grabbed that. You see that layer of dust?
for a while.
So, like,
But that's how it is. That's how it is in places where people are coming to occupy for it, and they only use certain parts.
This is tied right into our corridor. You've got fresh first aid stuff right here.
See that? I just was.
You got pneumonia, but you got fresh first aid stuff right here. This is all new stuff.
This is not typical.
And you're talking about a completely abandoned property with hundreds of thousands of dollars of stuff that people could just come raid. No one comes raid it, but everyone says that people don't come back here because they get shot at when they get close to this property.
So
They
that's,
haven't been shot at yet.
that second tower is right above us. Is there a way to get in there?
Looks like we probably.
I think it's right above us.
You access that through here. It's right there. It's right up there. You just see some markings. But you see the layer of cobwebs right there?
Yeah, that hasn't been
This
opened.
has not been opened, hasn't been touched for a long time. Look on the outside, look around the corner. Now you don't. I don't see layers. I don't see layers of cobwebs on this outer one.
No, I would say that this one's
This one's
pretty
been
recently.
open. This one over here hasn't.
Fucking stinks. Oh, dude, it's fucking putrid.
Is there anything locked?
Over here, this is where they're bedding down and they're scouting. Yeah.
We can take that, I don't know.
No, we can't take nothing from here.
No.
Yeah, you don't take pictures. Take photographs, take pictures, you don't take
Everyone
nothing.
touch it if you can.
Yeah.
I'm touching something.
Like right here, it's good that no one's touched that because anyone can look. You can see all this layer of dust. There's a cigarette there. Someone touched it. It could be DNA. You don't know if they find bodies out here. You can see where they've had their arms sitting right here. You can see where the dust has been.
The dust builds up.
This is really
This is 2
recent.
days, 3 days.
Oh, it takes me a half a day in my
It
bed.
doesn't take long for that dust.
If my window's open, it's a wrap in a day.
Dust every 3 days in my house. 2 of them. One.
Sister under there.
So, hold on, is this a different bedroom than we were in?
The second kitchen.
Laundry room.
See the table in here?
Yeah.
It's a nice pad.
It is a very nice house. Very nice.
Here's another lookout post, right in here. And you see where that chair is sitting by the window. They can sit right on the chair and look out there. They've got one in there that's over there. And here, someone recently took a shit.
No, it's the other bathrooms.
When they're coming through, this is what they just used.
It passed away here, but now it's being used.
Yeah, that's
They
what
were here 3 days ago.
This is
Whoever's
the
using
bed.
it, they're just passing
This
through
is
for
the
a
bed.
day.
This is the, and here's the bed they slept in. Well, you can get to it. Yeah, you can get to it this way, guys. I'll go find the toilet and show you where. Now, once again, nothing's been touched. But you can see where dust layered, somebody had do something recently, and you can see fresh dirt that's just kind of sitting up on the sheet. So someone's
Yeah, I
laid here.
I see
And
this.
this spot where they're sitting right here,
That almost looks like a
covered in dust. But all these windows being open, this spot right here, another perfect lookout spot. So when they're getting ready to do their drops, and I think they're shuttling supplies out to that big, encampment up there.
So once I get back, what I'm gonna do, I'll pull this place up on Google Maps and I'm gonna start mapping out directions to the roadways, because if you're looking, you're not looking for the actual vehicle, you're just looking for the dust.
Yeah.
One way that comes straight up here, just past the shed. The fence is down right there. You can see places where they climbed it, where the wires stretch.
Yep.
But the fence is also down in the wash itself, and there's tons of footprints going up and down that wash.
Right.
People footprints. And with all the traffic coming around here, I'd rather just have someone come pick them up.
I mean, this is what I would
And
expect.
this is from, and our local ranchers are saying this spot is being ran by illegals. Whoever's running the property knows it, they left it pretty much open for them to use, and you can tell because there's nothing secure. You've got rip fencing everywhere. If you don't come straight up from that gate, you don't even know you're trespassing if you're coming all the way around the backside. They've got it posted nowhere else but the main entrance coming in and out. And then they got the caution with shooting.
Well, they got like,
Let's go find that restroom, like, to see where you got that.
shit like that too.
You serve, right?
Through your scope and see what that light shining object is. Could as well.
Is there any symbology associated with a hog head being tied in a tree, like a severed hog head?
I mean, I'm not really into all the occult stuff. I
I
really.
don't know if it's a cult.
That could be a marking,
or
a
something.
marking, a warning.
Blue twine with a hog head tied to the tree.
There's one out there?
There'll show you more evidence right here, but they were just here.
Tied to a tree out there. There's a hog head tied to a tree.
Set up like a hotel.
So you served, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were just passing through somewhere and you guys found a little spot like this and you went through and swept it to secure it and you saw what we saw with
Yes.
basically a day or two, or maybe a week old markings,
Yeah,
you would know somebody is here.
Yes,
There's definitely
I
been
walked
here.
up that wash, there's tons of foot traffic coming in here, and there's fresh vehicle tracks, the wind hasn't even blown the tire tread marks away. Like they're coming, it looks like they're walking in and getting a ride out, you know?
Right. So, I mean, I would assume that this is just a little one day, let's take a rest, get out of the sun.
Traffic corridor.
Midweek.
The road's wide open to anyone.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people can do up there, but put pieces together. But hold on, I'm in the middle of something next time, but I would just say come on down and just tell them to pack their shit and come. We can take care of them when they get here.
I find it odd that you have
Barry, I want you to
the two iron gates sealed, but you got the one at where the chair's at.
That's supposed to look over here, you know. Yeah, over here, first off, someone's got keys that's all to the property, more like, and it's sitting right here.
Probably screw them over if we threw them.
But in here, you can tell someone has just recently, first, this is all neat, this is all clean, you got some little dirt there, you've got burnt stuff, that's actually fire, looks like someone lit that on fire, but this is new and fresh. Someone just recently, within the past 2 days, came in here, none of the other toilets look like that, that is new and fresh.
Yeah.
So,
So there's still liquid in there? I can't see in the light, and I just don't want to touch anything and just.
no, there's no liquid in that.
Well, that's what I'm really looking for, is some fresh liquid sitting in a cup or something.
Yeah.
That's not completely.
But the signs I got here shows that a day or two ago, they cleared out.
Somebody, yeah, somebody definitely.
Within the past 2 days, because the little layers of dust have already started to build up. And these little prints, I mean, they look like they're small.
But see, my whole point to all this is that when I think about this from the view that I need to look, it's that this is what you would expect to find when you would come through a property like this or any kind of encampment structure where somebody that's only passing through is going to be there for a day or so and just, catch your breath, cool off. You're only going to use very specific parts.
And you don't want to leave too much
installation. Right. You're not going to go through the whole house. You're not going to be in every room.
No.
You usually occupy one room for security. So
Mostly, you got layers of dust, but then you got,
yeah, I see it.
you said,
stovetop.
the signs are pretty much there, that someone's been here recently, within 2 days.
I've been coming to the desert for over 40 years. I've lived in it for 13. I've seen a lot of abandoned places, and
This is a heavily fortified one.
This is.
means that they're moving in.
I mean, this is-
supplies or bodies.
this is
where
extreme.
they'll make a final stand.
well, this is extreme
because this is set up in a Mexican style, but I mean, there is just.
There's nothing under there.
Sure, okay, just water drainage. That's just a drain vent. That's just drain vent because this is inside the middle.
Yeah, that's
But you don't know, you could have.
No, no.
No, we haven't pulled up the.
20 distance from the Jeep, 100 yards,
Full of water.
200 yards.
Full of water.
Hey, what's our distance from the Jeep, guys?
From the Jeep?
Yeah.
About half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, it's not far.
Half to 3/4 mile.
That looks like wine for dope bundles to me. That looks like twine. Oh yeah, bundles to me.
Sorry, there is a lot of solar out here. 2, 3 panels. That's an even bigger panel over here. Water hauler. Is there water in that? Oh, I see there's something. Well, maybe that's just reinforced at the bottom. I thought that was liquid. No, that's a pretty new water hauler, but it is under the shade here. These don't look like normal corrals.
What does this mean? No, it's a Blue rope around the tree and then.
Oh, that's the.
That say something? Solar light right there. Yeah, come to this light.
What the fuck is that? Is that a dog or a hog, man? Javelina.
Javelina head. But there's another marker just like that on that back entrance to the property, on the fence post.
Huh.
So they're drawing them to this point for some reason. That means something, I bet.
Yeah.
Solar light. And right up.
Javelina, I bet the heads are directional.
See where Rudy's at? Right up that wash. That cuts up that way. That's where all the footprints are.
Which makes sense if that's a directional.
If you're walking down this wash, you'd see that light.
I bet the heads of the coyotes or tigers are directional.
Could be.
I think we should go that way. Dead serious. Right,
All you gotta
you
do
said
is
the
walk
trails.
right up the
Right,
trail.
follow your
Yeah.
trails. And we need to start rolling out. We're not gonna find anything out here right now.
No, they're sitting up on the hills there, over here. They've known we were here for the last hour, 2 hours, or whenever long it's been here. They saw us coming up. What the hell's the name of that road?
Yeah.
On our way in initially. Big ass dust trails that we were near there.
It's definitely just a little bit weird, man. I've never seen corrals like that.
I know this is.
And I've worked for Hamilton Cattle Company out in northwest Arizona when I was a kid. Every summer, I've seen fucking thousands of corrals and shit, and I've never seen anything that's made for concealment, you know, so you can't see through it.
No rancher hung that boar's head up like that, especially if you're telling me there's another one up tied like the other.
No, and you're not renting this out to snowbirds if you're hanging shit like that in your trees. I'm telling you.
No, this is absolutely a drop spot.
There's a light to mark
No
it.
question in my mind. I was questioning.
That's a solar light, huh?
Yeah, that's a solar light.
That is a solar power fucking yard light, man.
There's a blue rope tied around the tree.
And you would be able to see that if you were up on a hill. You'd be able to see this through some
Like I
knocks.
just said, if you're walking down this wash where all the foot traffic is,
Uh-huh.
if you cut across there, that thing would stand out like a diamond in a goat's ass as you walk by.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in the dead of night in the desert,
You find a lot
yes.
of diamonds in goat houses, or
That's a full wash
look
with a
alike?
boar's ass one time, but yeah, you know that happened.
And these ranchers are saying there's another rape tree out here. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly where we are on the map. I have some video of it from the car navigation as we were driving in, and you can see how far away we actually are from Tucson. So if you're saying that these things aren't happening out here, well, we're about to find out, because these ranchers say there's a rape tree right out here. Out of respect, we're not going to put the ranchers' faces on film, And we're going to keep everybody else who doesn't want their identities disclosed, we'll keep them off film. So anytime you see the camera go down to the ground or it makes an abrupt swing or turn, you know that's just because I'm trying to protect somebody's identity out of just simple respect. So we're going to see where this goes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a bunch of armed ranchers out here now.
Alright guys, I know a lot of you guys came late and I said I was only going to roll that once and it would be a wrap, but I'm just going to loop this one more time because I know we had a lot of people come in late. So let me just go ahead and loop it.
Oh, these steps are just not, I don't know, those steps are a little suspect, man. So this is definitely like squatter
These
status.
are fresh. This is all fresh lowly.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody posted up. Look, they even got a little CB radio, man.
Here's the address right here for this place. 121. This is old, date issued.
Got a bag full of kids.
We found an ID.
We got a bag full of like, it was like a whole bag full of kids.
Oh, look, broken pipes, dude.
I talked to us, yes.
Drug paraphernalia. Look,
Flip
dude.
this around. Make sure this guy.
All kinds of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah.
This ID.
Look
That's
like,
a fucking meth pipe.
This ID was issued 10 years ago.
yeah, that one looks like a meth pipe. Look, that's
Baby
pot
and
pipes.
yeah, those are weird
Pot pipes. I don't really want to touch it.
They got a garbage bag full of kids. Halloween buckets.
Baby in a microwave. Well, no, there's another room over there where you're going to see all the
See, check
kids.
this
They have
out.
like 10 of them. It's weird.
You
see, have like 13 kids.
Looks like a straight shooter, man. Bunch of weed pipes. I mean, that doesn't mean they're smoking weed in it.
There's a bomb right
Got the CB radio right
We
there.
got the few backpacks, stuff that they're trucking through.
You see the bag full of kids.
There's a room over there that's got a bunch of little kid stuff in here. I wonder if we went up there, because we could not open that fucking
Sometimes
door.
there's
I
stuff
yanked
under
on it.
doors.
That old door open easy, so we could have someone walking around out here. Yeah, we can take you where the fresh shit is. They took a shit in the toilet.
Yeah, well, somebody's definitely squatting up here. We're keeping lookout. I mean, there's something that's happening up here. This is
Legos. Well, no, this is somewhere someone's like them. You got a nice new black light, so at nighttime you really won't see a whole lot.
Yeah. Clothes.
And we can take you in and show you. Now they're selling this house. Of course, they go through and they clean everything out. But you can tell where the house has been swept through and cleaned, and they set aside stuff that says estate. But then you can see where there's been fresh people in there, almost no dust in certain rooms, and where they're laying on beds.
Right.
This right here would be my concern. We got the address for this. We need to call and report this in. Anyone can come in out here, and you are talking about a lot of money right there. That's just sitting out here, and all of
60 grand or better. Solar. That's a lot.
So this is going to be a point for a cool.
Some
Got it
zigzags.
closer and I can tell you more.
King size zigzags.
Yeah, no. He's got a full 60
That
grand.
book is pretty new.
She's got dust on it. That's it.
Because these are perfect. You know, this was a property, I remember a rancher talking about.
Well, look at
He said
this.
It was all fortified. It had steel doors going around it. They were trying to buy it, and then at the last minute, they couldn't buy it. So this is probably the one. He's describing it because of the steel doors.
What are behind these? Do you know? By the description of the property?
Everything's unsecured. I haven't gone in here yet. Yeah, I can't see it. You got some mapping. It's really cool in here, so this is...
Yeah, this is definitely not a lived-in. This is not a lived-in
Fires and
house.
set. Yeah.
This is somewhere you stop and take a rest.
And if you
get out
look,
of the
no
sun.
one's touched the table, but you can see,
Yeah, I can see it.
come on this side, from this side light, you can see,
Yeah.
you can see where someone's had fresh arms right across there over top of the layer of dust. So someone was just recently sitting in this chair, cigarette right here that's actually matching the zigzags that are up there, which is what I noticed when it came through. Someone was just sitting out over here.
Okay, yeah, see now, that explains a lot. I mean, why you got steel doors coming in, I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. You obviously
And you
feel
got
safe
fresh
to a certain extent. Why do you got fucking steel doors on both of your major entrances and exits right there?
This doesn't look like it's ever been decorated. This doesn't look like it's ever
Fresh
been
trash,
decorated.
shoes. Somebody toss that on. And then maps. Got that.
Instruction manual, manual de instruction, maps, Yaki, hold up.
There's a lot of maps in here that have travel corridors, which is fine. And here we got maps in here they throw away, so I say they threw this out pretty quick. So set this here. So they tossed this in there. Someone tossed this on top of the trash. You see how the wood is, the tape here? This probably wasn't meant to be thrown away. But we want to pull these out. See if there's any markings on the maps. There you got your plastic jugs. There's your water.
Yeah, water.
Canned goods. Clothing. This definitely, yep.
It has been utilized. I stand corrected.
Now what we want to do is, let's open this map. It's got notes on it. Let's see.
That can have intel all over it.
Old Tucson maps. Shine a light on the table.
Alright.
Look for dust. Look for along seats where, so you get dust in the
Water's been placed, recent fingerprints. Recent fingerprints.
Right on this. What I'm looking for is if they put any markings on here. This is just
off the route.
Yeah, there's no markings on the route.
What about holes in the paper that could be utilized as markings? No.
All we got is just where they're ripped along there. They stuffed all this in there pretty quick, and then they stuffed.
They did, this was a run and go.
This is where the fresh water goes. So maybe whoever's back here is getting supplies dropped, and it's just enough not to accumulate in the trash. Well, someone needed a big enough footprint to where,
Yeah, they're gonna get discovered later.
and they haven't gone and destroyed and sold, so this was the map room. None of these are marked. None of these maps are marked as trails, but there are maps all across Arizona. This screen door is open.
Hey, we got the blueprints to the house. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's funny.
Every single one of these maps is basically a map of these
I'm
buildings.
sitting in this chair.
These are all located
Right here, for anyone that's crossing up this way. And they left these open for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's definitely being used.
to go that way.
Right.
So you got rat droppings.
San Fe Trail.
This is one.
Oh, shit, that's in
I've already checked it on those. We'll go around and where the courtyard, where the bedroom is, where they're sleeping. There's another spot we can see. They got the gate open, chairs sitting there to watch. So everything's showing that the ranchers are right. They're moving heavy stuff through this corridor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing the signs here, man. Nobody, I mean, this is not a lived-in home by somebody that's a permanent resident now. This is
And this is, there's a lot, this is an abandoned property at risk too.
And that's a different section right here, huh?
Yeah, there's
Completely different building.
section of this.
So we have two sealed iron gates, and this one is cracked open just enough to be watching the most common entryway into the property. There's another one. I mean, look at this. You got another one right here. Got another one over here. There's rat feces everywhere. Purple?
This one's getting set up.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could go over here.
A lot of brown, got some paint. I wonder if that paint's dried out or if it's fresh paint. I mean, we have some multicolored planks.
Now we know where the lookout's going, so if you come in here, right up here, this ladder's going up to this tower.
Yep.
And you got handprints going up it, so someone's been climbing up it recently. Then they got
Does that spin?
This back, huh?
Does that spin
What?
the cross section of plywood up there?
No, that's secured. It don't do that.
Secured? I mean, maybe a backrest to lean up against.
No,
while
yeah,
you're up
well, you
there.
can literally come up here and look out the side of these.
I mean, if I was up there posted looking out and was gonna use it as a defensive position, I would definitely want something to brace myself up with if I had to fire shots.
So you got dust and dirt on this side, bunch of dust and dirt on this side, but right here in the center, you can tell it's been moved clean, so someone's been, and they're pretty small.
This is recent concrete. This is recent concrete work.
Yeah.
This is not old.
And this is one of your lookout
I
towers.
still see the white line
Somewhere
film.
back in these canyons is that camp. Is a big camp, and that's what we're trying to track our way back to right now.
Okay, so that's no joke. Let's see if we can find another one that goes up to the other two. Because there was two there. I mean, to me, that is a definite
This
structure.
one that hasn't been used in a while. We'll show you the one that was just used by.
So this should be it. But that's definitely, that's a lookout and a defensive position. That's pretty much how I would set one up.
Shut down the spent brass.
And I don't think that these are really for,
Holy shit.
Got a lot of shooting out here, so it's all spent brass.
oh, you got casings in here?
Here we go.
Oh my God, look at that. That is a 5-gallon paint bucket full of casings. Looks like we got 203,
Bunch of stuff to
a
shoot.
lot of 203, a couple 308. Some 5.56. So this is definitely set up to be like a kid's room.
And this has got this stayed up, so here's
I mean,
state
right
land.
down to the stars on the ceilings.
And they've got this set in, this is set up where you've got state land, Agua Blanca, and there's some marking pointed there, and there's Arizona State. So it's separated between public, state, private land. So this entire area is supposed to be private land.
So I wonder if
The corridors, look at these trails. The corridor trails going into the canyons off of these private lands. These trails are coming down and they're crossing here. So you got cross section up here, and then you got two areas where they can split out from here. And they've got this one over here, and it says Mesquite. Not sure what that is.
Pascual? No?
oh, it's upside down maybe?
No.
For me it is.
It's MESQUED. Mesquite. Zach Mesquite.
And this is Agua.
Photograph this.
So what our intel's telling us is that through here, there's
this
abandoned
diamond
property,
thing?
there are trails going up into the canyons. Into these canyons somewhere are large camps where illegals are camping out.
Hey, this Agua Blanca. That right there.
Is there liquid in
the name of the ranch.
Is there any liquid in that cup up there?
That's where we're at.
No, that's dry.
There's lighting, so if you come in here, they drop, so they're using these little LEDs.
So we got a cable line being run, some type
Hey,
of
look over here, they
TV.
left their lighting here too.
I'd like to know where that Kodak.
This is oddball stuff, but when you see two lights sitting here and you can tell they've just been placed there.
Do they turn on? Is there juice in those? Oh, those. Oh, God damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a fresh water bottle mixed in with all this stuff. It's my little Dr. Pepper.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to not touch it, but still get a shot. Oh, that's horrible.
Bucket full of casings.
See this stove here, right here though, you can look down here, no one's grabbed that. You see that layer
Yeah,
of
not
dust?
for a while.
So like,
But that's how
anywhere
it
you
is.
see, yeah.
That's
No
how it
one
is in
messes
places
with
where
that.
people are coming to
This is
occupy for it. They only use certain
Yeah,
parts.
this is tied right into our corridor. You've got fresh first aid stuff right here.
See that? I just was.
You got pneumonia, but you got fresh first aid stuff right here. This is all new stuff.
This is not typical.
And you're talking about a completely abandoned property with hundreds of thousands of dollars of stuff that people could just come raid. No one comes raid it, but everyone says that people don't come back here because they get shot at when they get close to this property.
So
They
that's,
haven't been shot at yet.
that second tower was right right above us. Is there a way to get in there? Let's see.
Looks like you probably.
I think it was right above us.
You access that through here. It's right there.
Yeah.
Right up there. You just see some markings. But you see the layer of cobwebs right there?
Yeah, that hasn't been
This
opened.
has not been open, hasn't been touched for a long time. Look on the outside, look around the corner. Now you don't. I don't see layers. Yeah, I don't see layers of cobwebs on this outer one.
No, I would say that this one's been
This
open
one's
pretty
been
recently.
open. This one here hasn't.
Fucking stinks. Oh, dude, it's fucking putrid.
Is there anything locked?
Over here, this is where they're bedding down in the scout. No, we can't take nothing from here.
No.
Yeah, you don't take pictures. Take photographs, take pictures, you don't take
Barely
nothing.
touch it if you can.
Yeah.
I'm touching something.
Like right here, it's good that no one's touched that because anyone can look. You can see all this layered dust. There's a cigarette there. Someone will touch it. It could be DNA. You don't know if they find bodies out here. You can see where they've had their arms sitting right here. You can see where the dust has been.
The dust builds up.
This is really
This is
recent.
2 days, 3 days.
Oh, it takes me a half a day in my
It
bed.
doesn't take long for that dust to
If my window's open, it's a wrap in a day.
dust every 3 days.
The sister under there.
So,
Okay, guys, just give me a second. I'm going to get right back into this video here in a second, but I want to make something absolutely perfectly clear because it's really not in this footage yet that I have released yet. Okay, I have to blur out one of the veterans' faces on the other footage, and that'll be the only edit to that footage is the blur for their faces because it was unavoidable getting their faces in some of the shots. But we did find cams at this house, at this location. There's multiple cameras there, game cams, trail cams, if you guys know what that is, set up all around. And we came across one, and I literally had my face right in it and gave him a piece. It's like, well, you got my mug shot already, man. It's too late. But the cams all, dude, the cam had power. It was operating. And the minute, not the minute, but I would say 3 to 5 minutes after finding the cam and everybody being in front of it and triggering it, we had company within 5 minutes. So somebody was monitoring the cams in real time. They're not coming back and saying, let me see what footage I got. I mean, shit, we were just in front of it and it went off and snapped and relayed. There was a little, I said it was a Wi-Fi extender. It looked like a Wi-Fi extender. And one of the vets said that's what we would use on such and such deal. I mean, just a bunch of numbers and letters on that weapon. Don't know what it was, but basically almost like a little satellite transmitter or range extender is something. But for right now, I'm just going to call it a Wi-Fi extender. But regardless of what it really is, you have to be within a certain range to receive it. It's not like you're going to pick that signal up halfway across the state, guys. You got to be within a reasonable range for those things to be even worth using. You know, it's only to extend it to a point. But you could have a relay system of those to extend out just a bit farther. But wherever it was, wherever they were monitoring from, it only took 5 minutes. Like literally, that's what it seemed like to me. Like, we found it, bam, here we go, man. It's on like Donkey Kong. So somebody was monitoring that shit in real time, and the whole entire property, to me, at first glance, it seems normal if you just looked at it from the roadway, but once you're in there and you look at every window, every door, every entrance from the outer portions of the house going into the inner courtyards, where it's like, why would you even lock this off? You got a big hole right in your courtyard. You just come right over the roof and down into the court. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Everything had these sliding steel doors, and then some of the windows had bars on top of the sliding doors. Now, all the doors were all locked except for the one that was cracked about 2 feet open. It had a chair posted there. It had some fresh markings, but it was in the direction of the main road coming in, where you don't have to really even see the car. What you're looking for is 5-10 miles down the road, you can see the dust coming down the road. And that's what it really looked like to me. The biggest problem that I had at this location, at this house, is at first I found the multicolored planks, and I said that, I'm like, we got some multicolored planks here, and in my head I was thinking, that's weird. None of that fits in the scheme of the house and what's going on in the architecture of the house. And then I walked into that room, right? And it just, lights clicked. Now, out of the ranchers that showed up, one was claiming that it was his place, but then I almost felt like telling him, well, that's all your drug paraphernalia up there? You know? Is that all your drug paraphernalia? How did that get there? It's your place, you should know. You know what I mean? And why is this, and this? But nothing that came out of his mouth satisfied me to the point where I even believed him that he was the actual property owner. I think what's probably going on, and I'm not going to say this 100% for sure, okay, this is my personal opinion. What I think is going on is some of the good old boys are getting kickbacks from the cartel to turn the blind eye or to keep watch. I don't know, one of the two, but it was a really trippy deal. When you guys see the room that I'm talking about, though, the painted room, it does not fit the architect, like, it does not fit the house. And the guy that showed up claiming that it's mine, right? That dude's old enough to be my dad. He ain't got any young kids. He ain't got any little kids. Why do you have that room specifically set up like that? And again, I'm not saying that this is a fact. I'm not saying that this is what it is. But in my mind, when I walked in that room and saw that, the first thing that clicked through my head was child porn, right? Is this a room that they use at this location that's in the middle of fucking bumfucked Egypt to do some of their dirty work, to do some of their filming? You know what I mean? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some of these background shots of that room. I am going to drop the feds an email with some of the backgrounds, because they will and can match up backgrounds from known child pornography videos. If anything's ever been shot there that's been out and marketed and they've had access and found it, then they'll be able to match that up and oh, well, this is where this happened. Yeah, now we know this one. So I am going to drop them a line with that, but I'm going to go ahead and get back to the video here really quick.
Hold on, is this a different bedroom?
The second kitchen.
Laundry room.
See that table here?
Yep.
You got the top hall and top there.
That's good.
I'm sitting right here. Sitting on facing out.
It's a nice pad.
It is a very nice house. Very nice.
Here's another lookout post, right in here.
And you see where that chair is sitting by the window. They can sit right on the chair and look out there. They've got one in there that's over there. And here, someone recently took a shit.
No, it's the other bathroom.
When they're coming through, this is what they just
This
used.
one passed away here, but now it's being used.
Yeah, that's
They
what
were here 3 days
days
ago.
This
Whoever's
is the
using it,
bed.
they're just passing
This
through
is
for
the
a
bed.
day.
This is the and here's the bed they slept in. Well, you can get to it. You can get to it this way, guys.
Yeah, I've already been in there.
I'll go find the toilet and show you where. Now, once again, nothing's been touched, but you can see where dust layered. Somebody had moved some recently, and you can see fresh dirt that's just kind of sitting up on the sheet. So someone's laid here.
I see this.
This spot where they're sitting right here,
That almost looks like a
covered in dust. But all these windows being open, this spot right here, another perfect lookout spot. So when they're getting ready to do their drops, and I think they're shuttling supplies out to that big, encampment up there.
So once I get back, what I'm gonna do, I'll pull this place up on Google Maps and I'm gonna start mapping out directions to the roadways, because if you're looking, you're not looking for the actual vehicle, you're just looking for the dust.
Yeah, that water that comes straight up here, just past the shed. The fence is down right there. You can see places where they climbed it, where the wires stretch.
Yep.
But the fence is also down in the wash itself, and there's tons of footprints going up and down that wash.
Right.
People footprints. And with all the traffic coming in out here, I bet they just have someone come pick them up.
I mean, this is what I would expect.
And this is from, and our local ranchers are saying this spot is being ran by illegals. Whoever's running the property knows it. They've left it pretty much open for them to use. And you can tell because there's nothing secure. You got rip fencing everywhere. If you don't come straight up from that gate, you don't even know you're trespassing if you're coming all the way around the backside. They've got it posted nowhere else but the main entrance coming in and out. And then they got the caution, we're shooting.
Well, they got like,
So still find that restroom, like you see where you got that
shit like that too.
You served, right?
Through your scope and see what that light shining object is.
Is there any symbology associated with a hog head being tied in a tree, like a severed hog head?
I mean, I'm not really into all the occult stuff. I
I don't know if it's like a cult.
That could be a marking,
or something.
a warning.
Blue twine with a hog head tied to the tree.
There's one out there?
I'll show you more evidence right here, but they were just here.
Tied to a tree out there. There's a hog head tied to a tree.
Instead of like a hotel.
So you served, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were just passing through somewhere and you guys found a little spot like this and you went through and swept it to secure it and you saw what we saw with basically a day or two or maybe a week old markings,
Yeah,
you would know somebody is here.
Yes,
There's
I mean,
definitely
I
been
walked
here.
up that wash, there's tons of foot traffic coming in here, and there's fresh vehicle tracks, the wind hasn't even blown the tire tread marks away. Like, they're coming, it looks like they're walking in and getting a ride out, you know?
Right. So, I mean, I would assume that this is just a little one day, let's take a rest, get out of the sun. Midway
The road's wide open anyway.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people can do up there but put pieces together. But hold on, I'm in the middle of something next time, but I would just say come on down and just tell them to pack their shit and come. We can take care of them when they get here.
I find it odd that you have
Barry, I want you to
the two iron gates sealed, but you got the one at where the chair's at.
That's supposed to look over here, you know. Yeah, over here, first off, someone's got keys that all to the property, and it's sitting right here.
Probably screw them over if we threw them.
But in here, you can tell someone has just recently, first, this is all neat, this is all clean, you got some little dirt there, you've got burnt stuff, that's actually fire, looks like someone lit that on fire, but this is new and fresh. Someone just recently, within the past 2 days, came in here, none of the other toilets look like that, that is new and fresh.
Yep.
So,
there's still liquid in there? I can't see in the lighting, and I just don't want to touch anything and just
no, there's no liquid in that.
Well, that's what I'm really looking for, is some fresh liquid sitting in a cup or something.
Yeah.
That's not completely.
But the signs I got here shows that a day or two ago they cleared out.
Somebody's definitely.
Within the past 2 days, because the little layers of dust have already started to build up. And these little prints, I mean, they look like they're small.
But see, my whole point to all this is that when I think about this from the view that I need to look, it's that this is what you would expect to find when you would come through a property like this or any kind of encampment structure where somebody that's only passing through is going to be there for a day or so and just, catch your breath, cool off. you're only gonna use very specific parts.
And you don't wanna leave too much
Installation. Right, you're not gonna go through the whole house, you're not gonna be in every room.
No.
You know, you usually occupy one room for security, so.
Mostly, you know, like, you got layers of dust, but then you got.
Yeah, I see it.
The signs are pretty much there, that someone's been here recently, within 2 days.
I've been coming to the desert for over 40 years. I've lived in it for 13. I've seen a lot of abandoned places, and
This is a heavily fortified one.
This
This
is.
means if they're moving in,
I mean, this is-
supplies or bodies,
this is
where
extreme.
they'll make a final stand.
well, this is extreme because this is set up in a Mexican style, but I mean, there's just,
There's nothing under here.
Sure, okay, just water drainage. That's just a drain vent. That's just drain vent because this is inside the middle.
Yeah, it's
But you don't know, you could have.
No, no.
we even pulled up the.
20 distance from the Jeep, 100 yards,
Full of water.
200 yards.
Full of water.
Hey, what's our distance from the Jeep, guys?
From the Jeep,
Yeah.
half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, it's not far.
Half to 3/4 mile.
That looks like wine for dope bundles to me. That looks like twine.
Oh, yeah.
Bundles to me.
sorry, there is a lot of solar out here. 2, 3 panels. That's an even bigger panel over here. Water hauler. Is there water in that? Oh, I see a.
Gatorade bottles over here.
There's some. Well, maybe that's just reinforced at the bottom. I thought that was liquid. No, that's a pretty new water hauler, but it is under the shade here. These don't look like normal corrals.
What does this mean? No, it's a hot.
Why would they mark it with blue rope too?
3 rows around the tree and then.
Oh, that's the.
That place out there?
Solar light right there.
Yeah, come to this light. There's
What the fuck is that? Is that a dog or
That's
a hog, man? Javelina.
Javelina head. But there's another marker just like that on the back entrance to the property on the fence post.
Huh.
So they're drawing them to this point for some reason. That means something, I bet.
Yeah.
Solar light. Solar light.
And right up,
Javelina, I bet the heads are directional.
see where Rudy's at? Right up that wash. Like touched up that way? That's where all the footprints are.
Which makes sense if that's a directional.
If you're walking down this wash, you'd see that light.
I bet the heads and the coyotes are tied as directional.
Could be.
I think we should go that way. Dead serious. Way
All
that
you gotta
you
do
say
is
the
walk right
trails.
up the
Right,
trail.
follow your
Yeah.
trails. And we need to start rolling out. I'm not gonna find anything out here right now.
No, they're sitting up on the hills. They already know we're here. They've known it.
Solar light.
They saw us coming up. What the hell's the name of that road?
Yeah.
On our way in initially. Big ass dust trails that we use and everything.
It's definitely just a little bit weird, man. I've never seen
Not a
corrals
little
like
bit
that.
weird. I know this is.
And I've
been
worked for
traveling.
Hamilton Cattle Company out in Northwest when I was a
worked at
kid. Every
ranchers all
summer,
my life.
I've seen
Or for 8
fucking
years now,
thousands
all
of
my life.
corrals
Long
and
enough.
shit, dude. I've never
Long
seen
years.
anything that's made for concealment, you know, so you can't see through it.
No rancher hung that boar's head up like that, especially if you're telling me there's another one up tied like the
No,
other.
and you're not renting this out to snowbirds
No.
if you're hanging shit like that in your trees.
Nope.
I'm telling you.
No, this is absolutely a drop spot.
There's a light to mark
No
it.
question in my mind. I was questioning.
Yeah,
That's a solar light, huh?
that's a solar light.
That is a solar powered fucking yard light, man.
There's a blue rod tied around the tree. And
And you would be able to see that if you were up on a hill you'd be able to see this through some
Like I
maximum.
just said, if you're walking down Swash where all the foot traffic is,
Uh-huh.
if you cut across there, that thing would stand out like a diamond in a goat's ass as you walk by.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the dead of night in the desert.
You find a lot
Yes.
of diamonds in goat asses, or
It's a
Well, lost in a boar's ass one time, but yeah, you know, that happens.
And these ranchers are saying there's another rape tree out here. Now I'm going to show you guys exactly where we are on the map. I have some video of it from the car navigation as we were driving in, and you can see how far away we actually are from Tucson. So if you're saying that these things aren't happening out here, we're about to find out, because these ranchers say there's a rape tree right out here. Out of respect, we're not going to put the ranchers' faces on film, and we're going to keep everybody else who doesn't want their identities disclosed, we'll keep them off film. So anytime you see the camera go down to the ground or it makes an abrupt swing or turn, you know that's just because I'm trying to protect somebody's identity out of just simple respect. So we're going to see where this goes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a bunch of armed ranchers out here now.
Give me 1 second. Sitting in the car trying to cool everything down here. And I'm going to take you back over in the video to that one section. Now, the other video I have of the perimeter, you see like what these steel gates, iron gates, whatever type of metal it is, you really get an idea and a feel of like, well, if I lived way out here, and what would I use that for, type of thing. But this right here, when I walked into this room, it was just like, to me, it was like, what the fuck is this? Right? What is this? Doesn't fit with the house. It doesn't fit with the paint scheme of the house. The alleged owner doesn't have kids. And this was not his property. I highly doubt the guy that came and said, oh, that's my property. Highly doubt it's his property. Highly doubt it, or else you would know that you got people fucking posted up in towers that are set as defensive positions. You would know that you got another piece of your property right there where somebody's up there, and then they're up there so much that they're fucking breaking their weed pipes and their meth pipes, and they got to keep bringing a new one the next time they come down, and they're starting a fucking collection. You know, there was just too many shady things at the location that I didn't like, and this room was the main thing. It makes no sense when you don't have kids. You know, you're like fucking 70 years old. You can't sell me that you got kids that are going to want that room looking like that, or you're doing that for your little girl or something like that. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. And we're losing signal. I don't know if somebody just booted up something. We just dropped a bunch of bandwidth. I don't know what it is. I think everything's starting to heat up again. It's like a fucking oven out here in Tucson. It's like one equipment malfunction after another with the heat, man. Yeah, the whole house is like, it's like, it has that Mexican vibe, you know what I mean? That it's like my casa. You know, it's got that whole vibe, but this, I don't know. I just don't fucking like this scene right here. And the scene is, it keeps playing out in my head over and over and over and over and over. I can't lose the images of what I saw in that room. I mean, it's not like I went in there and saw a body. But when I walk in there and I put it into context of, number one, what I'm here for, right? Why am I here? Because we're dealing with something that has to do with kids, possibly, and trafficking, right? All these different things, and we know what we know what happens. And then I see something like this at this place in the middle of nowhere, and I'm just like, no, man, this is not good. It's not a good sign. Not at all. But I'm going to go ahead and pack it in for the night, guys. I'm just losing way too much signal. I don't know who's running what, but I think they may be actually flying the drone. I see something up in the air. And if the drone's running, the fucking bandwidth is cut in half right now because they're taking all the good bandwidth, all the gigahertz, man, and they cut me down to 2.4. But I will be on tomorrow, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep tonight. I am just dog tired. I am tired as hell. And it looks like we probably have a long one in for tomorrow. So until tomorrow, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll have some more stuff for you tomorrow. I got a ton more footage from today. I don't have the time to get it ready for you guys or anything like that. It's going to have to wait until I get back to home, man.